Shalom. All praises, blessings, glories, and honors to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Racha, Kodash, and double honors to my elder apostles and bishop elders of Great Millstone, who taught me this truth, as well of men of like mind. Shalom wa chasad, which means peace and mercy to the elect of the nation of Israel, whom you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and Israelite foreigners of the seed line of our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whom are scattered here in America, which is Babylon the Great, and abroad. To you I say Shalom, beginning with the 144,000 prophets, and Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, willing. This lesson is edifying and informative. My name is Quanawath. And in the news, from X, formerly Twitter, by Mario Nuffall, Neuralink and Grok give ALS patient a voice. Epic breakthrough with Neuralink and Grok stepping up for ALS. The lifeline. Through text, thoughts turned into text. Grok Assist finishes his sentences like a psychic sidekick. Voice clone. AI revives his real voice. The Jedi vibes. Texting and talking all with his mind. Tech is rewriting the ALS story. Source: the AI field on Instagram. This is another step towards the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip, also known as the NFC chip implant in Europe, also known as the biochip implant. The word bio means living or alive, and also known as the brain chip implant, or BCI. For example, Elon Musk's Neuralink. And Neuralink, for context, for those out there that don't know what Neuralink is, Neuralink Corp is an American transhumanist neurotechnology company that has developed, as of 2024, implantable brain-computer interfaces, also known as BCIs, also known as brain implants. Now, before I read on, let's examine two words that were previously mentioned. First is transhumanist. Transhumanist a noun, belief or theory that the human race can evolve beyond its current physical and mental limitations, especially by means of science and technology. So, the wicked and their technocrats believe that man can naturally evolve beyond their current physical and mental limitations by means of science and technology through the RFID microchip, also known as the brain chip implant, through companies like Neuralink, for example. And the word neurotechnology matter of fact, let me do this. Okay, Miriam doesn't have it. So instead, we're really here in Google. So neurotechnology encompasses any technology that interacts with the nervous system to monitor, modulate, or influence brain activity. The field aims to understand the brain, visualize its processes, and even control, repair, or improve its functions. Hence the reason why Neuralink is considered a transhumanist neurotechnology company, because those who consider themselves transhumanists believe that man can naturally, through science and technology, evolve beyond their current physical and mental limitations. Key aspects of neurotechnology include monitoring and modulating neural activity. Neurotechnologies can record and analyze brain activity, as well as stimulate or inhibit specific neural circuits. Brain-computer interfaces, BCIs. These interfaces allow for communication between the brain and external devices, like the RFID microchip, for example, also known as the brain chip implant, enabling control of devices with thoughts or restoring sensory and cognitive functions. And these are examples that they will use to persuade the minds of people across the globe into willingly taking the MOTB after they have introduced and subsequently mandated across the globe according to biblical prophecy. If you take this chip, you'll be able to open up your homes and your work offices and your car doors by simply swiping your hands. You'll no longer have to worry about losing your wallet, because your wallet will now be within the palm of your hand or in front of your brain. You won't have to worry about losing your medical information, your social security, your ID card, because all these things are going to be recorded within the chip. If you were born or suffer from a disability, if you take this BCI or this chip in your right hand, you'll be cured. Because with technology, you'll be able to speak again, reason again. You'll be able to move again. These are all examples of playing words in psychology and things that they'll use to coax individuals into willingly taking the MOTB. Neuromodulation. This involves using electrical, magnetic, or optical stimulation to alter neural activity and treat neurological disorders. Brain imaging. Techniques like MRI and EEG provide insights into brain structure and function, aiding in research and diagnosis, or diagnosis, however you pronounce it. Applications. Neurotechnology is used in various fields, including medical treatment, rehabilitation rehabilitation, and even potential applications in areas like cognitive enhancement and behavior modification. Some examples include deep brain stimulation, transcranial magnetic stimulation. You can pause it as I pronounce it. Optogenics, brain computer interfaces, BCI, which is relevant to this lesson. Allow individuals to control external devices with their thoughts, such as prosthetic limbs, or computers. Cochlear and retinal implants. These devices restore hearing and vision, respectively, by stimulating the auditory and visual patterns. So there are so many different uses that they'll say that this chip will have for the so-called benefit and forwarding of mankind. And that is what Neuralink is all about through their PCI technology. It was founded by Elon Musk and a team of 8 scientists and engineers. Neuralink was launched in 2016 and first publicly reported in March 2017. And so that concludes the report. Now let's go to the scriptures. Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And the he is referring to the wicked, beginning with their elites. And who was the wicked? Esau, Edom. According to the book of Malachi, chapter 1, verse 4, and causeth all people on the earth, except for the elect of the nation of Israel, whom our Lord Yahweh Shai promised that he will keep from the hour of temptation, which is the hour of trial, through the idea of piercing, for keeping the patience and faith of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. So he causeth all, both small and great, from a newborn baby to an elderly, a senior in society, rich and poor, whether they be rich or poor, free and bond, whether they be free or in bondage in the jail systems, to receive a mark. That mark is the RFID microchip. It is known as the NFC chip implant in Europe. It is also known as the biochip implant and the brain chip implant, i.e. Elon Musk's Neuralink, among others. When we examine the word mark in the Greek, it is charagma, which means a stamp or imprinted mark. When we examine the root word of charagma, the Greek word is charax, which means a palace or stake, which is the syringe mechanism that they will use to puncture the flesh of individuals to then insert that charagma, that stamp, that imprinted mark. of. Charax is grapho, which means of the writings, filled with the writings, filled with the records, because within the MOTB, people's information from their financial to their M to the E to the D to the I to the C, you know the rest. I have to say it like that so that they won't flag this video for so-called MED misinformation. Okay? So reading on, it says in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, and so no man or woman or child will be able to buy or sell unless they have taken the MOTB after the elites of Esau Edom has introduced and subsequently mandated it across the globe. They will not be able to participate in society unless they have the MOTB, or the name of the beast, and the beast is the pagan Roman Empire, which came back in the form of NATO and the EU, with America being an extension of that empire. That is the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom, and him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666, which in the Greek is chi, stai, stigma. And chi and stai both means X mark. We typically see chi, stai, stigma, that is 666, in the form of a universal product code, simply UPC, behind products in the stores and supermarkets through tree thick, narrow lines that are horizontal. One in the far right, one in the middle, and one on the left. And the UPC is used for tracking. In fact, let's find out what is UPC code. The Universal Product Code is a barcode system used to identify and track products in retail stores, please pardon me, and throughout the supply chain. It's a 12-digit number, often printed below a barcode on product packaging, that uniquely identifies a specific product as manufacturer. Now, let's take a look at this image. Ark of the Beast, RFID chip implant. So this is the mark of the beast. This is the RFID microchip. And this is the palisade or stake, which is the syringe mechanism that will be used to puncture the flesh of individuals, as you can see here, to then insert that charagma, that stamp, that imprinted mark, which will contain people's grapho, their writings, their records, whether it be their financial records, their identification records, including their social security, their ID, so on and so forth, and their M to the E to the D, you know the rest records. Okay. Now let's take a look at the Mark of the Beast camp sign off the camp's website. Here we can see the UPC barcode, which I'd referenced earlier, where you have tree horizontal lines on the far right, in the middle, and far left, which equates to 666, the mark of the beast. Okay, the number of the beast. And also, there is a saying in the world that X marks the spot in regards to Chi and Stai, which both means X mark. And we look at certain medical movies, for example, before a doctor or a nurse punctures the flesh of an individual, they'd first label the spot of puncture with an X, please pardon me, or with a circle that has a dot in the middle, and they'd call it the spot of puncture. It will be the same thing that they will do in reality when they are about to insert that chip into people's right hand or foreheads. Now, somebody might ask, oh, what if they do it in the left hand? It doesn't matter. If you take it, you'll receive a penalty, which is being burned in the lake of fire, in the second death. All right? And technology has advanced so much that they are shifting away from the UPC to what is known as a blockchain. Now, what is a blockchain? A blockchain is a distributed digital and immutable ledger that records transactions. Remember, no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. That records transactions across a network of computers. It functions as a secure and transparent database shared among participants where information is readily available to all simultaneously. That is a blockchain, a digital database or ledger that is distributed among the nodes of a peer-to-peer network. A network that will allow people to buy and sell, to make transactions. But it will be a centralized blockchain. What is a centralized A centralized blockchain is a blockchain where a single entity or small group controls the entire network and its operations. This means they have the authority to manage transactions, update the system, and make critical decisions. In essence, a centralized blockchain is a system where control and decision-making power are concentrated in one place. And where is all that power going to be concentrated? In the hands of the elites. of the wicked, rather than being distributed across multiple participants as in a decentralized blockchain. So it will be centralized because, remember, Scripture says that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So people will not be able to participate in society unless they have that chip, man. And those that misbehave, that have taken that chip, they can easily shut it off, block them from getting certain privileges, like a social credit score system. All right, so I don't want to listen to going too long. I'll read two more scriptures. One, Revelation chapter 16. This is what's going to happen for those that take that chip. They're going to get plagued with a sore, and then after that, they're going to receive a judgment. So I'll just read through it, and then I'll conclude the lesson. Lord's willing, this lesson has been edifying and informative. Revelation chapter 16, verse 2. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. That grievous sore is a cancer. And the image of the beast is a system of the beast. Everything that comprises this man's system is the image. His infrastructure, his financial infrastructure, okay, his M to the E to the D to the I. You can finish the rest, infrastructure, his laws, his philosophies, all these things comprise the image, okay, which is a system. And the third angel, Revelation chapter 14, verse 9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And who's the Lamb? Or Lord Yahushai. So they're going to be tormented, all right, in that fire, that nuclear fire, okay? And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, meaning for a period of time, and they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. And so with that, I pray this lesson has been edifying. Slack here, it's been long, but hey, that's just the spirit, man. So with that, I say shalom to the elect.